Hey guys, and welcome back to FedEx Gaming. In this video, we're going to be looking at some interesting ways to use mobs and minecarts. Now, not a lot of people do videos on this, and I thought I would because there's a lot of different props you can use mobs and minecarts for. So I'm going to be going over everything, so in case you see something you might want to build, because I'm going to be doing a tutorial on everything in this video. Obviously, if you don't like anything, you can leave the video. But first, we're going to go over some things, because right now there is a bug going on console, and that is mobs sit out of the minecarts. Well, they don't sit out of it, but they're above the minecarts. So are we too. If we sit inside a minecart, we sit above the minecart as well. So until that bug is fixed, they're not going to be this high up in the minecart. However, there is ways around this. You can obviously use snow to pretty much detect different levels of the minecart. So the higher it goes, the higher the mob's going to be. The lower it goes, the lower the mob's going to be. But obviously with snow, the problem is it can melt. Well, not turn into water, but if you have a light level near it, it could disappear. So what I usually just do is I usually just use a half slab, which normally sits at this level, I believe. Yep. And then usually I'll use an ender portal or a slab just to sit them up at different levels. But as you can see right now, there is a bug going on and he is sitting up out of the minecart, and this is with every single mob. So let's just go over all the things I have made here, just so in case you see something you might want to build or something you might not want to build. So right here is a very easy one. All I did was just put a cow in a minecart, stick it in the ground to make it look like the cow got stuck in the ground, or make it look like the cow, you know, kicked the bucket. The cow died, and now he's upside down and his feet are sticking up out of the ground. Now the reason why they are dark and colored like this is because there's a block over them. When you put a block inside the minecart, it pretty much darkens them because it's like they're inside the block. However, they're not. Right here, I put a zombie in a pretty much like a little grave. He's coming out of the grave, and I just named him Zombie so he doesn't disappear. I'm pretty sure if you name tag a zombie or any mob, they won't disappear. So you could set up like different things like that. You can have like your zombie poking up out of a gravestone or something like that, or just a grave. You can use dark, you could just use grass, but like I said, it's going to turn them dark. This one, I just took a villager and I named him Dinnerbone. When you name your I forgot to say that with the cows and things like that. When you name tag them Dinnerbone, they turn them upside down, or you can name tag them Grum, which is like Grumm, capital G, and it will turn them upside down. So it kind of looks like he fell, like the villager has fallen and got his head stuck in the dirt kind of deal. That's what I was trying to go with. And now, like I said, they're not supposed to be this high above the ground. Right now, you're not supposed to be able to see his arms. See where his arms are? You're not supposed to be able to see his arms. So just keep that in mind when you do this in the future. It will be changed. However, you will still get that feeling that he's coming out of his gravestone and that he's fallen down. This one right here is supposed to be like kind of like a crystal ball, like a head inside a crystal ball. I don't know what I was going with this one, but as you can see, it's just a table, and then I have a glowstone down there to keep it lit up, and he won't suffocate inside the glowstone and or glass, and his head is inside the crystal ball. Let's just keep moving on. Right here is supposed to be like one of those fortune teller things inside a carnival. You know, when you go up to it, you put money into it and it gives you your fortune. That's what I was going with this. So if we click this button right here, we'll get our fortune. Let's see what our fortune says. Our fortune says bad luck. Oh, that's not good. Let's try to get a different fortune. I don't want bad luck. This one says your mom. Okay, no, okay, I'm done. No more fortunes for me. The next one is pretty much just supposed to be like an animal head coming out of the wall. Like if you had a deer head coming out of the wall, that's what I was trying to go with. But the cow can move, so it kind of makes it a little bit scary. But as you can see, the cow's looking down at us and his head's inside the picture frame. Yeah, this one's a little creepy. I might not do a tutorial on this one, but who knows? We'll work with that later on. This one's supposed to be like a pig or horse machine that you have, like, you know, in front of an arcade or something like that. So you could get on top of the pig, click this lever right here, and you can have an all good old fun time riding the little arcade pig, or, you know, whatever it's going to be. You could ride it too when it's on, like that. Whee! So let's get off of that real quick. And the same thing with the horse. As long as you can put a saddle on it, you could do the same thing with the horse. The horse is kind of fun because you can make it buck while it's inside the... Oh, why is this not going? All right, guys, and we are back. I just forgot to put an item inside the dispenser down there. So we collect this right here. Our horse starts going up, and obviously we can get on top of our little horse. Oh, why did I get off him? Get back on. There we go. And then you can make them buck too while you're on this one. But there you guys go, have it. That is just like a nice little horse ride, or a nice little pig ride that you can have in front of an arcade, or you can have it inside a carnival, whatever you want. The next two creations are a little bit for more spooky places, like a haunted mansion or something like that. As you can see, it's just a villager and a creeper on a minecart underneath the carpet going around and around and around. I kind of had an idea for this. I wonder if you could put skeletons inside this and it's just set it up in your survival world or something and name your skeletons and just have them shoot your friends or whatever. Like have them as a security system, I was thinking. But as you can see, if we stand right in front of them, it won't stop them from going around because we're not touching the minecart that is underneath. So it's just something a little bit spooky right here. The next creation is just a couple of heads in a jar. We got a creeper's head in a jar and a Squidward's head in a jar on a nice table right here. So if you want to set that up, and right here it's supposed to be staircases just so it doesn't make the heads look dark. But obviously, if you want to make the heads look dark, you can just put another block right here. Because if you don't use a transparent block, it'll make them look dark like this. See how this guy looks dark over here? That's because I didn't use a transparent block right here. This one is a transparent block, and then obviously a grass block is not a transparent block. Now, after the heads in the jar, we have a nice classroom. That's a kind of big leap right there from heads in a jar to a classroom. But as you can see, you can name your kids, kid 1, kid 2, kid 3. I highly recommend naming your guys just so they don't despawn. And then we have the teacher right here. So here's a nice little classroom. They're all sitting in their seats, and you can't move them too. That's the good thing. See, you can't move them when they're in there. I didn't actually say that for everything. I should have said that before, but as you see, I can't move the horse, and I can't move the pig. Because as long as it's down in the ground by that one, you can't move them. Obviously, when the thing's going, you can move them, but that's pretty much just up to you and your friend. You know, if your friend does it, then you can blame your friend, not me. So here we have a nice little classroom. And then last but not least, we have a nice little villager inside a car, which I didn't name him. I should have named him Race Car Driver 1 or something like that. But here he is inside his race car. Alright guys, so that is everything. So I'm going to be moving from the left-hand side all the way around until this last one. So if you want to skip through the video to find the one that you want to build the most, then you can go ahead and do that. Oh, my zombie just spawned right here. I don't know if I name tagged this one. Hopefully I didn't name tag it. But that one over there that I named Zombie has been there for like, I don't know, about 2 hours now. So I'm not 100% sure on if mobs such as zombies and them despawn. I'm not 100% sure on that, guys. So just watch out. So if I was you, just, stick with villagers and, cows and things like that. But if you must use a mob, then I mean the zombie one's still there and the creeper head in the jar is still there. I don't know why this one might have despawned right there. So the first one we're going to be doing is our nice little cow right here. Now obviously you can use whatever you want, sheep, cows, things like that, pigs, but I wouldn't really use the pigs or anything that is one high block, because once you put it into the ground you won't be able to see anymore, especially since they won't be this high out of the ground eventually. Like I said, with that whole I wonder if you could show it with me inside the minecart. See, I'm like sitting up out of the minecart a little bit too much, so that should hopefully get fixed eventually. So let's go ahead and do this one, guys. This one's a very, very easy one. So what you want to do is literally just make a hole in the ground and then just take 2 blocks, put it over the hole, and then put 2 blocks up like this, 2 blocks up like this. Now if you're doing this on survival, you're gonna have to get your cow over here with like a lead or something like that, but since I'm not on survival, I don't have to do that. So we're just gonna set power to our powered rails by using a redstone block, or you can use a torch, anything you would like. But if we're using a redstone block and we're using powered rails, and then we're just gonna put our minecart on the powered rails like this, our minecart should start shimmying back and forth like that. Next, take out your spawn egg. I'm gonna be using a cow spawn right here, and we're just gonna put it right on top of this like that, and as you can see, it grabbed our cow, and you can already see our cow's kind of sticking up out of the minecart a little bit too much. So we're gonna go ahead and delete these 2. Next, what we're gonna do is find where you put that hole. We put our hole right there. Let me put this back like this, and we're just gonna push our cow to where over the hole is, like that. So just make sure he's over the hole. Then we can go ahead and delete everything. Just go ahead and delete everything. Make sure not to move that cow, and he should fall right in the hole. Beautiful. Next, what you want to do is literally just go over like about 2 blocks or 1 block. You go like this, just put a piston inside this block facing towards your cow, and then go ahead and send power to it, and it will push the block into the cow. As you can see, the cow did not lose its color. However, when you leave the game and come back in, he will turn that like this color right here. He will turn that color. However, when you're first in the game, he should stay like that. But as you can see, now it looks like our cow has absolutely no legs and he is stuck in the ground. This is actually a pretty good idea for breeding. Maybe you put 2 cows like this really close together, they could breed. So all right guys, and we are back, and of course it started to rain when I never wanted to rain, but we're gonna check to see if these cows can mate. So let's see. So they can create babies. So now you know which cows to breed and which cows to not breed if you go ahead and stick them in a minecart and put them in the ground. And no, I'm not going to give you any of this wheat, but I'm going to bring you away from your parents. Now what we're going to do is turn one of these guys upside down. If you did not know, if you name tag or just name tag the actual spawner egg dinner bone, then they will turn upside down. That is an uppercase D-I-N-N-E-R-B-O-N-E. As you see right there, it says dinner bone. If you don't know how to name, well, to put a name on a name tag, all you need is an anvil. So right here, if we go right like this and we left click our cow, it will put it upside down, and there we have dinner bone. Now like I said, once you leave the game and come back in, they should look like that. Let's dinner bone you too. So let's move on to the next tutorial, guys. The next one we're gonna do is a zombie poking up out of his grave. As you see, he is colorized because I used a half slab instead of a dirt block, so he doesn't look all black like this. However, gray would probably look good too, because I mean, he's coming out of the ground anyway. So if he does have that darkened color to him, I don't think it would look too bad. All right, guys, so let's start making our zombie inside a grave. So what you want to do is we're going to do the same thing like we did over here with our cows, except it's going to be a little bit different because we don't want our zombie to fry. So what you want to do is where you're going to put your zombie is just dig down a hole, find where you're going to be putting your zombie inside the hole, and literally go up 4 blocks. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Delete these blocks right here, and we're just going to create a little overhead because we don't want our zombie to burn. If you're doing this during the daytime, your zombie will burn. If you're doing this during the night, then you should be absolutely fine. All right, guys, so before we move on to the next part, I had a great idea, and that was to show you the different levels of what you can have your zombie at. Obviously, you can go into more detail if you use snow. However, this zombie right here is just on top of a slab. Now, this is what your zombie is going to probably look like this one over here, if you go ahead and do this design right here. However, this one's on a slab. This one right here is on an enchantment table. This one right here is on some soul sand, and this one right here is on top of a normal block. Now, this one, after the update where it's going to fix the guys inside the minecart, this one's probably going to be the best looking, but right now kind of looks like poop. So if you want to, you can either do this one and then in the future it will fix itself. Heck, this guy might despawn. All I know is that this one over here that I named zombie is still there. However, I don't know what's going to happen, like if there's an update or things like that, we'll just delete all your guys. I have no idea, guys. But right now, as you can see, this one kind of looks the worst, but in future updates, this one's probably going to look the best. However, right now we are going to use Mr. Soul Sand right here. So all you have to do is just take out some soul sand, and we're going to put some soul sand inside this hole right here. So delete down a block and put soul sand in here, and we're going to do the same thing like we did with the cows. We're just going to pretty much make a little top space like this, put 2 power rails like that, take out a redstone block and put it right here, and then put your minecart on top of it. Next, take out your zombie egg. Make sure you have this thing over it or your zombie's going to fry, and put your zombie on top of this. You see him going back and forth on the minecart. We're going to go ahead and delete this block right here and right here, and we're going to go ahead and push our zombie over to this side above the hole like that. Delete these blocks, delete this block. He should fall down into the soul sand block. Beautiful. Now, before we remove this, we still can't remove this or he's going to burn. Actually, he might not burn now that he's on top of soul sand. If you did not know, if mobs are on soul sand in the overworld, they will not burn. However, before we do that, I just want to make sure we're going to go ahead and delete this block. We're going to put a slab here upside down, take out a piston, put a piston facing outwards like that, put a block right above this, well, a redstone block to activate it. And then we're going to take out blocks. We can go ahead and make a little gravestone if you want. You don't have to make a gravestone if you don't want to, but I'm going to just make a nice little cross like this. There we go. And there we go. So now our zombie shouldn't burn anymore. So there we go. He should be just absolutely fine. Fill this in right here. Fill this in right here. And then obviously, if you don't want him to despawn, like I said, I'm not 100% sure on this, but mine have not despawned yet. My zombie right here. And I don't think that creeper's despawning because he's moving all the time. However, he might despawn if I don't put something on him. But we're going to go ahead and put a name tag above him. His name is Test. All my guys are going to be named Test in this. So there you guys go. That is how you make a zombie poking up out of his grave. Our next one is going to be a villager who has fallen over and got his head stuck in the dirt. Now, like I said, the next update, well, hopefully in the next update, they'll fix the guys inside the minecart so that he won't be this high out of the ground. However, he'll still look like he got his head stuck in the dirt. I tested it out on the PC, guys. It looks absolutely fine. So this one is a very easy one. Just like the cow and just like the zombies, we just have to put a hole in the floor, set up a nice little 2 area. And we're going to go ahead and put 2 power rails right here. We're going to take out a villager egg as well. So let's get out our villager eggs and let's take out our powered rails. It's going to be the same setup like all the time, guys. It's going to be the same setup all the time. You can actually probably just put your redstone block down here so you don't have to go through the trouble of doing all this all the time. But we're going to go ahead and put a minecart right here. Then we're going to take out our villager. We got to worry about our villager and our zombies right next to each other. So make sure you do it really quick if you're putting them right next to each other. So there we go. Now we're going to delete this block right here. Just push them over above the hole. So get over the hole, you stupid villager. And there we go. Beautiful. Delete all these. Push this down. He'll fall inside the hole. Delete a block over. Put your piston down in there. Take out your redstone block. Put it above the piston. It will push the block right above your villager like that. We can go ahead and take out our grass blocks and put this back in right here. And right here, and now all we need is our dinner bone name tag. There's our dinner bone name tag, and just name tag them. Oh yeah, to name tag villagers, what you have to do is go into sneak mode on console and then go ahead and name tag your villager, and there you guys go. Now you have a villager who got his head stuck in the dirt. Our next tutorial is going to be our crystal ball villager. Obviously, you don't have to have a villager. You can use pretty much whatever you want. However, you just got to remember with cows and things like that, they're a bit of a too high block, so it won't look as good as a villager. You could use an enderman too. That would look scary, having an enderman inside a crystal ball. I'm not sure if they could teleport out of minecarts though. So we're just going to go with our villager inside a crystal ball. So it's the same thing, guys. Same thing over and over again. pretty much what you're gonna do. However, this one's gonna use a half slab, so on and so far. We're gonna be using a lot of half slabs from now on, or just slabs. If you want to call them slabs, that's fine. I don't know why I like calling them half slabs, but we're just gonna delete a block down, put a slab inside the block, do the same thing like we did with everything else. It's just the same thing over and over, guys. Just put 2 powered rails like that, and we're gonna put some power to those powered rails. Take out a minecart, put it on there. Take out your villager, go ahead and put your villager on top of this powered rail like that. Beautiful. Delete this block right here, push your villager over that hole. So go over the hole, you stupid villager. There we go. I gotta stop calling him stupid. It's not his fault. It's not his fault he's inside a minecart right now. So we're gonna drop him down into our hole like that. So now the good thing about having them inside a hole like this, you can't move them. As you see, if I go over him and try to move him, you cannot move him whatsoever. So you can go ahead and pretty much, you could set this up like this too if you don't want your villagers to move, but you also don't want someone else to move your villagers. You can set it up like this so your villagers can never ever move, so on and so forth. So now we just have to set up this nice crystal ball thing. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do I get that on top of it? Well, perfect. This doesn't move, guys. This will never move. So all we do is just put 2 pistons like that. Next we have to do is just take out a piece of glowstone and a piece of glass. Let's get out some glass and some glowstone. Put a glowstone here. Put a piece of glass right there. Then we just have to set power to these. So just put your redstone block right on top of this, and it'll push your villager right inside the crystal ball like that. Now all we have to do is make a nice little table like this. So now all we have to do is just set up our table. So all I did was just use gray carpet for the bottom and then brown carpet for the top for our table. So just go ahead and go like this with 4 blocks of choice for your flooring like that. Take out your carpet and put it around here as well. Now you might not be able to place carpets in some of the areas. Now the only way to get the carpet inside this area, see how I can't place the carpet right here, is just put a carpet like this. Go ahead and take out your piston, put a piston like that, and then put a block right here, and it'll push the carpet into the spot if you can't get your carpet in. Next we're gonna go ahead and put fencing all the way around. Oop, there's not supposed to be carpet there. Put fencing all the way around on these 4 blocks like this, and then take out your carpet again and put it all the way around to make the table. And there you guys go. Now you have a villager inside a crystal ball. And our next tutorial is going to be our fortune telling villager. So let's see what our fortune is going to be this time. So we click the button, we get our fortune, and it is poopy brown sheep. That is not really a fortune. So let's go ahead and move on to building our fortune telling villager. So it's pretty much the same thing as always, guys. We're gonna dig down a block, and then inside this block we're gonna go ahead and stick a half slab. Like I said, we're gonna be using slabs a lot now. So put your slab, and then what you're gonna do is pretty much just set up your nice little setup like this. There we go. We're gonna put 2 power rails in here. I pretty much don't have to tell you what to do anymore with this. You've seen it way more than enough now. And then what we're gonna do is now we're gonna have to take out a minecart, put our minecart on the rail, stick our villager on top of this part right here. There we go. We got our fortune teller villager like that. Actually, I like the it doesn't really matter. You won't be able to see the color. I usually like using the purple ones. Next, what we're gonna do is just stick our villager over the hole. There we go. Delete this block. He'll fall down inside the hole. Delete all this. Now we don't have to worry about him moving anymore. He is stuck there for absolutely ever. And let me just fill in this hole right here. Once you got your villager inside its hole, now all we have to do is just put a block here and a glass block like that, and put 2 pistons facing this way, and then send power to those pistons like that. It will push it right in. Don't worry, he's still inside there. There you guys go. Now we just have to put our button on the block like that, and then on the other side of the block with the button on the front of it, we're gonna go ahead and put a torch on this side like this, and then we're just gonna put a dispenser in front of that torch by doing this. We're gonna take out our blocks, and then we're gonna take out a dispenser, and we're gonna go 2 blocks up behind our torch, 1, 2, and put our dispenser in like that. And now all you have to do is just make your own fortunes. Well, all I did was just use paper. If you're wondering what this is just paper. I used paper, and then I used an anvil to make my fortune. So pretty much I'm just gonna make my fortune I'll put this one in. I'll put these ones in. Love is around the corner and no one likes you. And then we can go ahead and put a walling in. Obviously I wouldn't choose the same color walling as this, but just for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna put this in real quick like that. So here's our wall in for our fortune teller. There we go. So let's see what our fortune is going to be. So we click the button, we get our fortune, and our fortune is love is around the bend. Beautiful, yay, good fortune. And our next build is going to be our cow inside the wall. Now I'm not a big fan of this one, but I'm sure a few people are going to want to know how to build this one. So let's go ahead and build this really quickly, guys. This one's actually a very, very easy one to do. So all you want to do is just easily set up a wall like that. Figure out which height you want your cow to be at. Obviously we're gonna have to use glowstone so our cow doesn't suffocate. So I want my cow to be at about this height right here. So all we're gonna do is just put a block like this, a block over, put 2 powered rails down, send power to those powered rails. Go ahead and stick a minecart. Why do I have all this stuff out? Let me get my minecart out real quick. There we go. Put a minecart on top of this rail right here. Take out your cow egg. I believe this is my spawn cow egg. Yes, it is. And we're going to spawn our cow like that. You should get stuck inside the minecart. Delete these blocks over. Push the cow to the spot where you want him to be in. So I'm going to push mine over to this side over here like that. Then we're going to delete this block. Delete the block underneath it. And then right here, we're gonna put a glowstone block because we have to have a block that's not gonna suffocate him. You can use glowstone, you can use glass, you can use a stair. Just use something that's not gonna suffocate him. I'm gonna use glowstone because at least it will light up the area as well. And then we're just gonna stick 2 pistons right here. So let's get out our pistons and stick 2 pistons like this, 1 and 2. And then we're just gonna send power to them, boop, like that. And now our cow should be inside this wall like that. Beautiful. Next, all I did was I just put 2 more blocks like this. And then I took out a item frame. Do I have item frames on me? No, do I? No, I don't. So take out a item frame and put an item frame right here on the wall. And then you can put something inside the item frame if you really want to. But there you guys go. That is how you just build the cow inside the wall. All right, guys. So this video has been going on way longer than I thought it would. So I'm going to cut this up into 2 parts. So if you enjoyed part 1, then make sure to leave it a like and subscribe. Stay tuned with my newest videos. And I'll see you in part 2, guys. Peace.